Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Coffee with Kenobi's Facebook Live every Monday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I am your host, Dan Z, thrilled to be talking Star Wars tonight with each and every one of you. Well, this is quite a different environment from last Monday where we were live at Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World Hollywood Studios in Orlando, Florida. It was great. The whole show tonight is going to be all about our experiences at Galaxy's Edge and Mason Z, or Mason's Air's reactions to it. But before we get to that, let's welcome in everybody who has joined us for tonight's show. Minta is here. Hello, Minta. This is the way. It's CWK Day. Good to have you on the show. Colby, hey, how's it going, man? Hope you all had a happy Easter. Mary, hello. Good to chat with you as well. Jose is here. Good evening, Jose. Welcome to the program. Tyler says, hello, everyone. Glad you and your family had a good trip. Well, thanks so much. We had a great trip. I can't wait to talk about it. And we're going to have a little bit this week on the podcast about it as well. Jennifer is here. Hello, Jennifer. Jennifer and Mary were so instrumental in helping us get on Rise of the Resistance, by the way. We'll talk about that. So Minta says, finally back, been busy planning for my wedding this fall. Congratulations, Minta. That's very, very exciting. We're very happy for you and your fiance. That's great news. Carter, hello, buddy. Good to have you back on the show. Andrew is here as well. Hello, Andrew. Who else is here? We've got Jason. Hello, Jason. Good to be back. Hockey season is underway, and I missed the past few weeks. Well, Jason, we saved a spot for you, my friend. Ben says, can't believe I missed last week. No more visiting family. That's okay. The good news is you can watch on Facebook or on Instagram or on YouTube. It's there for everybody. We've gotten a lot of views, especially on Facebook for it, so I'm really, really glad to hear that. Hello, Brian. Good to have you here, buddy. And Josh is here. Josh says, the photos on Instagram looked awesome. Glad you all had fun. Well, Josh, thanks so much, buddy. It's great to have you on the show. We're honored to have you with us, for sure. Okay. Before we jump into the main feature of our program, let's talk about what's brewing in the world of Star Wars this week. Last week was exciting. Of course, I was at Walt Disney World with my family, a couple members of my family. And while that was great, there was still some Star Wars things that happened, which we're going to talk about very, very briefly on today's Facebook Live. So the first thing really to talk about is the cast of Obi-Wan Kenobi was revealed. At this point, we do not know who all of the actors are playing, save for a couple of very key ones, naturally. Ewan McGregor, we know who he's going to be as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hayden Christensen himself will be Darth Vader. Joel Edgerton will be Uncle Owen, and Bonnie Peace will be Aunt Beru. But the rest of this awesome cast, a lot of notables here. I'm not sure who they're going to be, but there's some big names. It's going to be a great-looking cast, some very, very talented actors, so we are very, very excited about that. Jamie says, good evening and welcome back from Walt Disney World. Well, thank you, Jamie. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Appreciate the well wishes. Josh is here. Missed last week, but excited for tonight. I think I missed a topic, so I guess I'll wing it. Well, Josh, there is no specific topic for tonight because last week we were live from Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida at Galaxy's Edge. So tonight is going to be all about that. Mary says, I hope there are some more names to come for Kenobi. I'm sure there will be. Carter thinks he'll show up as Anakin and Vader. I don't know. That's a great idea. I'm wondering that too. James says, can't wait for the Obi-Wan series. I saw a video of the set. It looks amazing. Now, I heard about that, but that video could very well be from Mando or Boba Fett. It's really kind of hard to tell. 2022 seems so far away for the Kenobi show. It does. It certainly does, but I think it will be well worth the wait. But that's not the only thing that happened in Star Wars this week. We also had the Star Wars, basically all of these iconic older cartoons showed up on Disney Plus last week, including most famously the Genndy Tartakovsky 2D Clone Wars series that Drew Taylor and I did a discussion of late last year, which was fun. Then you've got, what is it called? The Loyal Wookiee? Yeah, that is the cartoon in the top left from the infamous Star Wars Holiday Special. And then we've got some of the Ewok cartoons and the two Ewok films on there as well. So that's great. We could easily do a top 5 of those. Maybe it'd be fun to watch seasons 1 and 2 of the Tartakovsky series and do a top 5 for that. We can certainly talk about that naturally. But there was a lot of fun things to digest. Now, none of this stuff is canonical, but it's iconic and classic Star Wars, and to various degrees, I think, of entertainment and level of entertainment, but still a lot of fun and a lot of great classic Star Wars for sure. We've got some great feedback on this. Young Luke has to be in there. I hope he's not, because to me, anything they do that has Luke and Obi-Wan interact would mess with A New Hope. So I hope they don't do that, but we'll see. Josh is excited. He's hoping there isn't an Obi-Wan versus Vader duel. I agree. There should not be. That would be problematic for me as well. Watch The Faithful Wookiee. It was interesting. Josh, that was very generous. It's not the best Star Wars I've ever seen. I will say that. It was pretty brutal, but there were some entertaining. The voice work was great because it's Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and James Earl Jones and Harrison Ford, so that's pretty neat. But it's a very interesting, convoluted concept, but it was still kind of fun to see it. And of course, the first appearance of Boba Fett. Minta is fired up. Her childhood is back. Tyler says 2003-04 Clone Wars has such a special place in my heart. I'm glad more people can experience it. Yeah, they're really great. I have the DVDs of that, but to have them digitally like this is wonderful. Love how it led right into episode 3, says Dave. Yeah, to me, the way they go from right into episode 3 is about as good as it gets. So Jason is all for a top 5 for that series. So maybe we will do that. Maybe we will certainly look into that as well. All right. So that's pretty much going to do it for that discussion. But the main reason that we're here tonight to talk about this is to talk about Mason Zare, my awesome son. My wife Deanna and I surprised him and took him to Walt Disney World in Galaxy's Edge for spring break. So I'm going to bring in my not so surprise co-host for today, Mason Z. Come on up, buddy. How's it going?
Good.
Good. Mason is here with us to talk about his experiences at Galaxy's Edge in Orlando, Florida. So before we get to that, Mace, let's get to some of the comments from our friends here. Josh says, I have the 2D Clone Wars DVDs, so that's how I've experienced them. I'm glad more people can watch them, though I guess this will remove the $60 to $90 market on Amazon. Probably. I hope so. And Josh agrees Kenobi and Vader should not interact. That really devalues the face-off on the Death Star with 19 years of loss. I agree. I totally agree, Josh. Mary says hi, and Tyler says hi. Yes, Mason is here. Thanks, by the way, in advance for everybody's support and the kindness you've shown when Mason and I did that great, very, very fun video last week right in front of the Millennium Falcon. This is a little different, isn't it, buddy? A little different tonight. But
a little less exciting.
A little less exciting, but still going to be fun. Jason says Mason is a rock star. I agree. Love the lightsaber, Mason. Well done, says Colby. And Jason says, hi, Mason. We went to Disney for spring break, too. Well, cool. How about that? Ben says, hi, Mason. Awesome Star Wars shirt. Yeah, Mason and I are wearing our Galaxy's Edge shirts from the opening in California. That I grabbed him one, and when I went to the media preview for that, and we're thrilled to be able to talk about this with each and every one of you. So, again, Deanna and I surprised Mason. We had this surprise for your birthday last summer in 2020. Obviously, we couldn't do that. We rescheduled it 3 different times. We finally got to surprise you. Can you tell everybody what it was like when you found out the news? How did we tell you?
You put out a bunch of notes. You put one in the
kitchen?
Not a lunchroom. Yeah, kitchen. And then you said go to Mom and Dad's room. Then it said go to my room. Then it said go downstairs. And then it told me. Yeah,
we basically did a scavenger hunt where there were different little clues where he had to walk around the house. And eventually it said, hey, what are we going to do for spring break? And then at the last picture, so we're going to Disney World, and it had a picture of the Millennium Falcon.
And it had an exclamation mark at the end.
An exclamation mark at the end, and it had Mickey Mouse. We said, we're going to Disney World. So we were very, very excited. We had about a week for him to share in the excitement with us. Deanna and I were practically busting at the seams wanting to share the information. And we have a bunch of pictures to share with you, where we're going to tell you some stories about what happened for the Zares at Galaxy's Edge. And look at this. Andrew says, welcome back to Earth, Mason. I've never been off planet before. I hope the local Batuians were friendly. They were friendly.
They were like aliens.
They were like aliens. Josh is going for the first time in June. Josh, you're going to love it, man. You're going to love it. Andrew will be there as well. Mason had to play Dan's clues. All right. Let's go ahead and show some of these pictures and tell some stories, shall we, buddy? All right, so tonight's show, again, Mason Z reviews Galaxy's Edge. That picture there, one I'm really a huge fan of. Of course, I'm biased because we're a big fan of this little guy right here. This is, of course, inside the Millennium Falcon. Tell everybody what it's like inside the Millennium Falcon.
Inside, it looked like inside the Millennium Falcon.
Did it feel sort of like weird, like you're in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool. I was very excited to walk you in there. So, this is, I think, the best shot we took from Galaxy's Edge. It's very, very difficult when you go there during the pandemic to, of course, get a picture of all of us together without doing a selfie, because obviously most people aren't going to want to take your phone or whatever. But there was a family we found that was kind enough to do that. And so we got this great picture in front of the Falcon. You see the shirts that I had made, that Corey Club made for us, exclusively for the three of us for our trip to Galaxy's Edge. It says Bright Suns from Batu, and on the bottom it says Wish You Were Here. And then we're, of course, wearing our...
exclamation mark after Wish You Were Here.
Thank you. And we're wearing our CWK Alliance baseball hats. And a very special shout out to my wife, Deanna, who is an incredible, incredible trooper and so much fun. And she just followed us around, and we were telling her about Star Wars stuff, and she was amazing. She was amazing. She had so much fun. And I think it's probably fair to say the most fun she had was just watching us kind of act like little kids. Right, and one of us has an excuse to act like a little kid. The other, not as much. But we had a great time.
It's true.
We had a great time. So total kudos to you, Deanna. I love you, and I'm very grateful for the fun and the environment that you always create for our family. So thank you for that. All right. So the first night we got there, we originally had planned on going to Animal Kingdom, but then we decided that we weren't going to do that because we were pretty wiped out from a long day of traveling. But we did want to go to Disney Springs and have a little bit of fun. So what I did was I found, Mason's actually been to Disney. This is your third time. You went when you were 1. You went when you were 3.
Almost 4.
Almost 4. And then when you, of course, the age you are now, which is 7. So on the left is when you were 3 years old. And I'm holding you in front of the Star Wars Galactic Outpost at Disney Springs. Then on the right is a picture of us from just about a week ago. So you're obviously quite a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've grown up a lot. What did you think of that store? Remember all the cool stuff in there?
Yeah.
That was right after you bought that Hawkeye bow and arrow set.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about that Star Wars store?
No.
Remember you saw the Boba Fett? You saw some Boba Fett gauntlets.
No, it was in a different store in Disney Springs.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, what? I don't even remember.
That was closed.
That one?
Yeah.
No, that one had like a bunch of t-shirts and some cool stuff too.
Collected Outpost was closed.
Really? No, I promise. Yeah, it was open. Yeah, because remember we waited in line for it? We had to wait in line. And in fact, that was a good thing to talk about. All of the stores at not only Galaxy's Edge, but Disney Springs and Walt Disney World, you all have to wait in lines where you're socially distanced before you get into them. And at first that was a little challenging, but ultimately it wasn't that bad because the stores weren't crowded. You had plenty of time to shop. You never felt rushed. So I thought that was really, really good. Jennifer says we didn't go to Disney Springs, but we need to go into the store. Yeah, you do. It's cool. I mean, to be honest, a lot of stuff in there you can find at other places and other parks, but it's still fun to have a concentrated Star Wars store. And just a couple of down from it is the Marvel store. Tyler says I had the same Hawkeye bow set for cosplay. Look at that. Josh wants to know if we went to Savvy's. Well, Josh, we're going to get to that, buddy. We are definitely going to get to that. All right. So one of the first things I wanted to do was I wanted to have them try the blue and the green milk. So there's Mason and I on the left. I'm holding the green. Mason is holding the blue. And then Deanna is holding them both saying, what should we do? So this was fun. This was very fun. Mason, tell everybody, first, I think it's easy to tell by looking at the picture on the right which one the Zares like better. But tell them a lot about the blue taste and the green taste.
I think the blue tastes like milk with like a little chocolate thing with a little honey or something.
Oh, really? Okay. And then what about the green?
Awesomeness.
Awesomeness? Can you give a little more specific than awesomeness?
It tasted like milk.
Mm-hmm.
It was green.
Yeah. Yes, it was green. It did taste like milk. But I didn't expect this because the first time I tried it, I liked the blue much better. But they've done something different to the green, or at least it seems that way. But all three of us unanimously like the green quite a bit more.
Yeah. And on the right, you can definitely tell which one we like more because look at the green, how much it was empty.
Yes. So Ben wants to know, Daniel says it looks yellow. It's just a very kind of a light green. And then Ben says, is there a lactose-free blue or green milk? So they're actually not milk. They're all plant-based, and they're not milk at all. So you're pretty safe as far as allergies go, I think. Mason, that's what Mason says about the blue. I think that the blue tastes like a combination of yogurt and toothpaste.
Yeah, same. Actually, yeah.
Which doesn't sound very flattering. Now, to be fair, a lot of people may actually love them. But so it wasn't bad, but the green actually is something I actually look forward to having again. And what's nice is it was very hot there. It was in the high 80s, but it felt like it was in the 90s most of the time we're there because
like it was in the hundreds.
Yeah, because of the heat index.
Yeah.
And these are very, very cold, and they're not slushy, but they're definitely more of they're not solid liquid. They feel more like kind of an icy consistency to them, but they're much more drinkable. I'm not really describing it very well. It's not like I'm a writer or anything. Minta says blue milk sounds really good. You know what? You may like it. I hope that you do. It's not that I don't like it. I just think the green is much, much better. Mm-hmm. Are they dairy free? They are absolutely dairy free. They're all plant based. They're completely dairy free. And honestly, the dairy wouldn't work really well in the hot Florida sun, so they had to come up with an alternative anyway. So Mary says the green tasted like flowers to me when we were there in November. That's interesting. That's a good way to describe it. Blake says he's late. Hello, CWK family and the Zaire family who enjoyed my Florida homeland. You know, every time we went anywhere, Mason would ask if you were going to be there, Blake. Didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hoping to run into you, buddy. We'll have to make that happen next time. Blue milk with the rum is the only one I've tried. Well, Blake, I have not tried that, but I think that would be really tasty. Yes, Josh, I would say more of a milk shake texture, but much more liquidy, but it's so nice and cold and kind of frothy that it's really, really good. So yeah, that was fun to experience that. And the nice thing about things at Disney now is you just do mobile ordering. So you order the food or the drink you want, and then you get a notification on your phone, and it tells you to go up to the window and you can pick up your food. So you don't have to really wait in lines per se. So that was nice as well. Did you like that feature?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about is just our experiences in Galaxy's Edge itself. We were there 2 full days basically, and we were at Disney 6 days, but we spent 2 of those days at Galaxy's Edge. And on the left, of course, Mason, I'll let you tell that. What's that?
Me in front of the Falcon.
Tell me what you thought when you first walked out and turned the corner and saw the Falcon.
I remember you saying, I want to show you something that's not really in that kind of design. And I was like, okay. And I really didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was going to be Savi's or what. And once you walked me up the stairs, and I was like, whoa.
Oh, I love it. That was quite a thrill. He was awesome. We tried to recreate the picture that I have on Coffee with Kenobi and my personal Twitter accounts of me in front of the Falcon. So that was fun to do. And then on the right is us inside the Falcon itself, sitting at the Dejaric table. So Blake says, Mason, next time, whatever color milk you want is on me. So he's going to buy you milk next time. How about that? Pretty cool. All right, Blake, he's going to hold you to that, dude. So yeah, seeing the Falcon was great. The 3 of us waited probably 80 to 85 minutes the first day to ride it, and it was very hot. And the way the line is constructed, you actually go backstage a little bit, which is kind of neat, and then swing back around. Then you go through the entire queue, and they're really, really great about letting you, if you want to be in a cockpit by yourself, they will let you do that. Daniel says, is the Falcon 1/1 scale? It sure is, buddy. It is the only 1/1 scale Falcon ever built, and they have one both, of course, at Florida and then in Disneyland and on the West Coast. But they're the only 1/1 scales ever built that is confirmed from Lucasfilm, and it's amazing, isn't it? The detail and stuff.
Mm-hmm. There's one thing I have to say about the Falcon.
Yeah, tell us.
Line was long the first time.
The line was long.
Second time, not so much.
And was it worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have 3 different options. Actually, so there are 6 seats. Either 2 of you are either the pilot or the gunner or the engineer. The first time Mason was the pilot, we made sure he got to be if you sit on the right front side, you get to be the person to put the Falcon to light speed. Yeah, and he was great. And the next time he was a gunner. So Josh, no, I'm not kidding. It's totally is. It's completely scale. It's phenomenal. I did not know you could have a cockpit without other people. Yep. I think that's more of something they've done because of the pandemic, but it worked out really beautifully. Blake said, did you guys enjoy the amazing weather we've had down here this last week? I imagine Naboo has similar Florida spring weather year round. Well, it was very hot. It was in the 80s. When the last day we were there, it was in the 60s or 70s. Now it's much better. But you got to remember, Blake and everyone, that we were coming from 30-degree weather in Illinois. So it was definitely quite a difference.
Yeah. When we got home, I had my short sleeves and shorts on. I was like, I'm freezing, Mom.
There's another shot of us. On the left is Mason and I, and on the right is my beautiful bride and I waiting in line for the Falcon that first day. So check it out. We, look at that great style my wife has. The great mask and the hat and the shirt. I'm telling you, she was the best. The three of us had so much fun at Galaxy's Edge. All right. Speaking of fun, we did get to go on Rise of the Resistance, and that was very, very challenging. Our good friends, Mary, and I believe Jennifer, I hope that's the right name. They gave us great tips about how to get on that thing. But basically, if you don't, at 7 o'clock in the morning, right on the dot, jump on and try to claim a place in the queue for Rise of Resistance, you're not getting it. It runs out in about 20 to 25 seconds.
No, about 5 seconds.
It felt like that sometimes. But this is from inside the queue itself. Mason, tell everybody about Rise of the Resistance.
My favorite ride in Disney.
It is?
Yep.
And what is it like for people? Like, what happens when you go in there?
Like, you're on this giant ship, then you get captured, and you go on a Star Destroyer. I remember getting my picture in one of the droid things that you get on.
Yep.
Just at the very beginning when you walk in, not when you actually get on them.
Right.
I like when you got in the jail.
Yeah, you go into a jail. Kylo Ren at one point tries to cut through the roof with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
It is fun. It's scary. It's exciting. It's like a 20-minute attraction. It has a great little surprise at the end, and Deanna absolutely loved it as well. If you get a chance to go on it, it is worth every second.
My favorite part of it is when you're like going into the escape pod and you just drop.
Yeah, there's definitely some thrills on the thing as well. Jamie says, was your Falcon mission a success? It was the first time. And then Mason and I did it again, and I was the pilot, and I didn't have a left pilot because he wanted to be a gunner, so it's just me kind of flying it by myself.
They made it automatic other pilot.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't too bad. We didn't crash, so that's a good thing. Yeah. Matthew says he loves the shirts. Thanks so much. Appreciate that, dude. Colby wants to know what your favorite food was. Well, he had the Felucian pita and the meatballs, and he liked that. And I
like the pita.
Yeah, the pita was really good. The hummus was excellent. And then I had the Cadu ribs, which I had at the preview, and they are great. They're really great. This is something I've been wondering. Do the cast members wear masks? Like, would you see Rey, for instance, walking around with a mask? So the characters are far away on balconies and stuff. So they're so far away from you that they're not wearing masks, but all the cast members are absolutely wearing masks. If they're interacting with you, they're definitely wearing them. Yeah, Jason, it is a sweet X-Wing. The only way to see Pose is if you go through the Rise of the Resistance itself. Yeah.
You got your picture in front of it. Yeah,
no spoilers. Josh, we didn't give away anything, I promise. There's so many things that happen there. We have not given away anything, buddy. Trust me, it's spectacular. We haven't given away a single thing. Blake says, Mason, my wife Maddie wants to know your thoughts on the ATMTs. You know those giant, you remember when you see the giant AT-ATs?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
They're big.
They're big. Did it blow you away?
Yes.
Yeah, they're pretty exciting.
Like, if there was wind, like on Hoth, and they blasted, it'd probably literally blow me away.
So he loved them. Blake, tell Maddie that he loved them. Danny wants to know if you have to set up some sort of an app to sign up for the rides. Yeah, it's the My Disney Experience app. As soon as you log in and create an account, that's how you plan your dinner reservations. You get your theme park reservations for what days you're going to go to the parks, because you have to do that. And then on the main home page, it shows you where to sign up for the queue for Rides of the Resistance. But we can definitely talk even more about that later on the podcast too. Brian says, Rise was awesome. We got lucky enough to pull off 2 attempts. Wow.
Whoa.
What an adventure to ride in Hollywood before sunrise to score. Oh, yeah, that's great. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. Jennifer says, Rise is a whole Star Wars experience, so much more than just a ride. I agree, Jennifer, and thank you again for all your help. To me, it's like, and Deanna backed this up, and I think Mason does too, it's really like being in a Star Wars movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally is. Tyler says, Mason, you're doing a great job hyping me up. It's pretty much official that my wife and I will be going next year. Oh, dude, you got to.
Yeah.
You have got to. You will love every second of it, for sure. All right, so let's get to the main attraction here. Josh wants to know, do you need an app for Smuggler's Run? You just get in line. You just get in the line. Yep, just get in the line. No worries. Brian says, thank you for sharing your trip. I went with my brother in 2019. We both got to pilot the Falcon, one of the best days ever. It really is a huge thrill, isn't it? And I love your Facebook profile pic there. All right, so then it was time for the main attraction. Then one of the main reasons that Deanna and I wanted to bring Mason was that he could build his lightsaber. Right away, you are asked they have a QR code that you scan, and it gives you the 4 options for what lightsabers you can build. You can do
Peace and
Justice,
Power and Control,
Elemental,
Future,
Nature,
and Protection and Defense.
Yep, that's very good. And then you'll see on each one of those, there's a little, on the left, right, there's a little, it's basically a button that you select, or that when you pick it, they give you that and you put it on your shirt so that when you're about to build, they know which one you're going to select. And Mason, I did Peace and Justice the first time. Mason selected Power and Control. And Blake says, I saw Mason choose the same lightsaber color I did, and he's awesome for that. Yeah, he picked the red one. Because why? Why'd you pick the red?
Because you had the blue, so I had to fight you.
That's right. So we had to practice. Mason says Minta says, this is getting me excited to visit Galaxy's Edge. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad. You're going to love it, Minta. It's so great. All right. So we went in there, and on the left, Deanna took a great picture, a bird's eye perspective over Mason's head. When you look down, they put the tray in front of you, and you've got a number of hilts and emitters and different lenses that you can use. And it's basically a mix and match. You get to decide however you want them to look. On the right is Mason slowly putting his together. You can see how they have numbers on the floor, and other people are in the room with us, but socially distanced, building their own lightsabers as well. Josh says, do they let you look at what parts are available for each type, or do you have to look at and Google it? You can Google it, but I showed you in that previous picture, when you scan that QR code, and it's again right here, that's what you get to see. So you'll get plenty of time to decide which one you think you want to use. So hopefully that helps, Josh. So at one point, finally, once it's done, Mason ignited his saber for the first time. Tell everybody what that's like.
It's amazing. It's just, when I did that, and in the next picture, you'll see I was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's the money shot right there. They have everybody raise their lightsabers, and this is a 20-minute experience. I mean, it is really, really exciting, really, really fun. And they talk about the value of it, and we won't give anything away, but you basically feel like you're a Padawan creating your own lightsaber. And like Mason said, it was amazing. And I was so excited to see that.
2 other people by me had red light blades too.
Yeah, they did. There's purple. There's a green one.
I knew there was a blue somewhere.
Yeah. Josh's lightsaber construction is a personality test. It really is, and they kind of go over that a little bit. Tyler says, that's the part I'm looking forward to the most. I'm planning doing protection and defense with a green blade. A great choice, and I can honestly say, and I don't know how you feel about this, Mason, but to me, building a lightsaber, all the great things in Galaxy's Edge, this is the best thing to do.
It's tied with Rise.
Tied with Rise of Resistance, that is fair. Daniel says, that is sick. Yeah, man, it is. It's incredibly cool. Josh says, I've been tearing my hair out over that, so my sanity has been restored. Josh, happy to help, buddy. And honestly, go through the Coffee with Kenobi podcast feed. I've got a number of shows covering Galaxy's Edge. I was lucky enough to go to the world premiere of it, and I got a lot of inside tips for you. Blake says, this is hitting me in the feels because I know how I get teary-eyed making my saber with that whole experience in my 30s. I can only imagine how Mason and you felt, Dan. Oh, dude. It killed me in the best possible way. I was just choked up and happy, and Deanna's probably laughing at this right now. I tried really hard not to hover and just sort of help him and take over. I tried to let him do his thing, and I stayed out of your way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. It was so fun. Mary says, Chaz and I have not done Savage yet. Hopefully later. Mary, it is the best. You two will love it. You will love it, love it, love it. Colby says, what an awesome experience. Can't wait to do it again. So happy for you. Well, thanks, buddy. It's great. I can't wait to do it again. Mason has already started saving his money for our next trip. He also bought, tell him what you bought in Doc Ondar's.
I bought a holocron.
You bought a Sith holocron, and what lightsaber did you, or what other kyber crystal did you buy?
Yellow.
You bought a yellow one for fun. Yeah, I go every year, or whenever I go, I buy a new one. This time I bought a red one. I now have blue, green, yellow, and red. Yes, we'll get to that. Do they use LEDs or not NeoPixel blades? You know, I'm not sure what the specific type it is. I'd have to look that up and get back to you, Daniel. But you can use them in like duel with people, and it's fine. So this is the last one, just kind of an awe moment. But Mason, I said, he's been 3 times, and I always make sure we get our picture in front of the ad. So on the left, he was 1. In the middle, he was 3, and on the right was our trip from last week. So 1, 3, and 7. You get cuter every time, buddy. How do you do that?
I'd be 11 if I combined these.
Yes, you would. Is it Daddy gets better looking every time too, doesn't he?
Well.
Oh man, we had the best time. So Blake says it's expensive, but something every diehard Star Wars fan needs to experience. Yeah, it's $200. It's $200, but I'm telling you, it's worth every single second. I love it. I love it. I love it. Josh says I can't wait for my saber, even if it costs all my cash. Plan on building either with blue or green, and then buying whichever I don't get as well. It's smart, and it's pretty easy. We're working on a video where we show you how it all works together, and how you can change the kyber crystals and stuff like that. And it's spectacular. It's spectacular.
Next time I go, I'm probably gonna get a white.
Yes.
Kyber crystal.
A white one. Good choice. Yeah. Well, thank you, Mary. We had so much fun. Jason says those are the best pictures of the night. We've had a lot of fun putting this together. Mason will be holding Dan in the next one. Yeah, that's right. When I'm an old grandpa. Hopefully we go before then, Blake. Chloe says, nice. Mason, tell your mom and dad that you want to see Batuu West. That's Disneyland. Yeah, that would be fun. Then we can hang out with Colby too. Yeah.
I want to see Batuu West.
Okay, let's make that happen. Good deal. So Mason, anything else you want to add about your experiences at Galaxy's Edge? No? Okay. Well, we're going to talk a lot about them. Oh, you know what? You probably want to see Mason's lightsaber. Mason actually brought his lightsaber. He's going to show you his red lightsaber. I'm going to move my microphone out of the way so he can show you. There you go. See, every piece of it, you basically unscrew them again. We're going to work on a video to show all of you what this looks like. So that's great. And he also got a Sith holocron. So he's going to show you that really quickly as well. Yeah, show what happens when you turn it on. I'll turn off the light. Now push the button and show what it sounds like. It's kind of creepy.
No, not off.
That's probably good.
I bet Mom just jumped.
So it is just like that. It's cool. It goes through a number of different things. The Jedi one is basically Obi-Wan's from Rebels when he gives the warning for all the Jedi not to return to the temple. There are a lot of different things that you can do. A lot of different things you can do. 1 second, buddy. Let's look at this. So Josh says how the holocrons, now you've seen them. They're very cool. That's the only way you can hear. See, the holocrons, in addition to changing the color of your lightsaber blade and having different sound, each one, if you put the kyber crystal in your holocrons, the respective holocrons, it's a different character. Like my green one is Yoda. My blue one is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Right.
His red one's Dooku. My red one's Dooku.
Yeah. So that's the only way to actually read them, but they're a fun collectible, and you charge them up with a USB. Colby is appreciating your ability to convince your parents. Yeah. Mary says, "Good job, Mason." What do you tell her?
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
And I convinced them to get a legacy lightsaber.
Oh, yes, you did. Yeah, I have a surprise for next week, but I was coerced by the Force to get another legacy lightsaber. Jennifer says, "So cool, Mason." And Minta has got a lot of whoa emojis. Tyler says, "Great design. I love how each crystal has different ignition sounds." They do, and they're great. Ben says, "Great job. So cool." And Josh says, "Also did Peace and Justice." That makes sense considering your daytime profession, buddy. Kato says, "All that secret knowledge coming out of that. Sweet. It's very cool." Daniel has some advice for you. He says, "Do not become a Sith Lord, Mason." That's good advice. Tyler says that holocron sounds metal. It's very cool. Mason will be shooting Force lightning in no time. Well, that's the plan. Not. Okay, so Mason wants to show you, and Minta, you'll appreciate this because I saw you post it on your Instagram. Mason got a Grogu large pillow for Easter. So that was a big hit around the Zare household. Did I try the fuzzy tauntaun, the strangest drink I've ever had? I've had one before. We're not able to get into the cantina this time. Even with all of our combined Jedi powers, we were not able to because we didn't have previous reservations, and that's fine. We're going to have to just take care of that for the next time. It's about the only thing we didn't get to do. Josh says you are a skilled negotiator. So that's a high compliment. It's a high compliment. All right, very good. Well, that I think is going to do it for this week's show. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We do actually have a topic for next week's top 5. We're back to the top 5s. Next week's top 5 is top 5 Kylo Ren moments. We saw a lot of Kylo Ren at Galaxy's Edge, so we're going to have a lot of fun with that. Give your top 5 Kylo Ren moments. So, that's going to be fun. It's going to be tricky, though, isn't it?
You're right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were sure.
Hey, Mason, thank you so much for joining me tonight on Facebook Live. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I got a few comments here. Is the cantina a must-have? I think it's pretty great. I think it's really cool. Tyler says he got the Chewy pillow. Nice. Nice. Minta says that giant Grogu Plus makes a great pillow. Yeah, it's fun. Mason has had so much fun with it all day today and yesterday. Josh says, "I'm starting my own podcast and we'll be recording my first episode this Saturday. I want to say thanks for creating this amazing podcast. I can only hope I can manage to make anything half as good as yours. Please keep it up." Well, Josh, that is very, very kind of you, buddy, and the best of luck to you. I'm sure you'll do well. Please let us know next week what your podcast is so we can find it and listen to it. Kato says, "Thank you." Kato, thank you. And Mary, thank you so much. She says, "Thanks, Mason and Dan, for a fantastic show tonight." Well, Mary, thank you so much as always for your support, for joining us, and all you do for Coffee with Kenobi. Brian says, "Great way to start the week. Nice job, Mason." And Tyler says, "Oh, yes, can't wait to talk about that. Have a good week, everyone. Thanks for the experience sharing, Dan and Mason. Our pleasure." Blake says, "My wife joined me for the first CWK live tonight, and much love from us both." Well, thank you, brother. And thank you so much, Mrs. Weaver, for putting up with this guy and sharing him with us every Monday night. We sure have the best time in this amazing Coffee with Kenobi Star Wars community I'm thrilled to be a part of. Daniel says, "Thank you for sharing. For those of us that can't travel right now, can't wait to get there someday. You will, and you will love it." Hey, look, it's Uncle Sean. Hey, buddy. May the Force be with you, and this is a nice way to end the workday. Josh, you're welcome anytime. Anytime. It's good to see you, Uncle Sean, and everybody else. Thank you so much for joining us. Get your top 5 Kylo Ren moments ready for next week, and we will see you next time. Ben wants to know what it says. Mason gets an A+ on his guessing on a podcast class. Yep, good job, buddy. I agree. Colby says, "What type of batteries do you use for your Savvy's lightsabers? Mine ran out of charge very quickly." We just use Duracell, and they seem to be working fine. Colby, you're just using it too much, I guess. You're just chasing everybody around the house. Just settle down, okay? Hey, thanks so much, everybody. Jason, you have a great night too. May the Force be with all of you. This week, Becky Mankin of MEI and Mouse Fan Travel will join me to talk about what's going on at Disney World and Galaxy's Edge and the travel options you have. And this guy and the lovely Mrs. Sarah will be joining me as well on an epic podcast talking all about going to Walt Disney World. Have a good one, everybody. And remember, this is a podcast you're looking for. We will see you on the next show. Ta-da! See you, everybody.